Hello. Get around here. Welcome back. It's been a while. I am getting ready for a newborn session tomorrow, so I have all my materials and crafts and sewing machine out again today. So I thought I would do a little live tutorial on this one's going to be how to make a matching wrap and bonnet from an old sweater. And we're going to do a little bit different today. I am not going to use a sewing machine. We're just going to use a hot glue gun. So for those of you that want to maybe get crafty and don't have a sewing machine or don't know how to sew, this is for you. And of course, if you want to sew it, you can. Or if you do know how to sew, you can still use a hot glue gun. So let's get our hot glue gun plugged in. We will need scissors, a measuring tape, some pins, and your material. Today I went ahead and put together this bonnet without using my sewing machine just to see if it was possible, and it turned out pretty good. So this was used made just using an old sweater and a lace shirt that I used for the bow and the ties. Not my favorite color, but I was just looking for something to whip up really quick, but it's kind of a dark purple. So yeah, this was again made using no sewing machine, no needle and thread, just hot glue and material. So what I'm going to show you today though is going to be the wrap and bonnet made from this sweater here. This is an old sweater I picked up at the thrift store, and it drew me in because of course it's cream, which I love using cream things on babies. And I like the texture. I'll get it a little closer here so you can see kind of the print. It's a little waffly print. It'll photograph really well with that texture. And then of course the lace at the bottom. I just love lace things for little girls. So it drew my eye into it, and I went ahead and picked it up. I won't be using any of the little bling stuff up here. I like using florals and pearls for little girls, but not the real blingy things. So what we're gonna start with here, again, I'm making a matching wrap and bonnet from this. And to make the wrap, that's what I'm gonna cut first, is I'm gonna cut from basically the armpit to the armpit, just straight across. That actually might be a little too much material, so I might measure it first. Usually wraps are about 16 to 18 inches is best. If you get much taller than that, it's almost a little too much fabric and it's harder to work with. So I'll go ahead and measure from the bottom of the lace on up, and 18 inches is about the max that I'd like to go, and it's probably an inch or two right below where the armpits are. So that's where I'll cut it, is right at that 18-inch line. So let's go ahead and get started. Just about an inch below the armpit here. Put it straight across. Okay, so there's what I have left. And this will be the wrap. Now to finish making this a wrap, we have to cut up one of the side seams, which I'm going to use this one because it's got a little tear in it already. It also has the tags that I'll want to get rid of. So just get that side seam out and start cutting. Start cutting away here. Now obviously with a sweater like this, you are going to get some fray from the raw edges. But that is getting super popular in newborn photography, so I don't let it bother me. And they end up being really cute. All right, we've got some extra little pieces here. I think they're the hanger pieces. So here is our wrap. You're gonna have that one seam in the middle, which is easily hidden either with Photoshop, or you can just cover that part when you wrap the baby. So here's your wrap. Nice little sweatery wrap with that lace detail that you can use at the top. If we have time, I might show you how I would use it, but there's that, super easy. Okay, now we are gonna make the bonnet from what we have left over. I'm probably gonna use the back side of the sweater here, because that is the most material without using the blingy sequins and stuff. So I'll go ahead and cut off the sleeve, get that out of my way, just makes it a lot easier to deal with. And the sleeves you can also use to make that little hat with that I have in one of my previous videos. Bottom part might be stretchy enough to fit over a baby's head, but that's a whole nother video to show you how to make a hat out of a sleeve, but it's really easy to do. Get rid of this other one here, and we can get started on the bonnet. Okay, and just cut these two pieces. Okay, so there's that front part. I will probably never use this. This will probably just get thrown in the trash. And here is the back piece that I will make the bonnet from. And this is going to be a raw, unfinished, cut edge bonnet. Okay, so we will get out our measuring tape. Again, the bonnet size I like to use is about 11.5 inches across. And I like the finished bonnet to be about 5.5 inches from the back of the baby's head to the front. We need to allow a little bit for seam allowance, so I'll go ahead and cut this front part first. Kind of just have to plan ahead and make sure you have enough material to work with. That looks like about enough. So we'll start cutting here. We basically want to make an 11.5 by, I would say, 6.5 inch rectangle piece. So I'm making 11.5 inch cuts right now. And when I cut for the wrap part, I didn't do a very good job. It's pretty uneven. So I'm going to even that out a little bit more. I'm going to put these two sides together and cut that nice and straight. So we have a nice straight edge there. This is going to be the part that will be on baby's face. Okay, that's a lot better. A lot more even. Okay, so now I'll measure 5.5 inches up the sides. I'm sorry, 6.5. I want my finish to be 5.5, so I will cut 6.5. And looks like I am going to get into a little bit of the seam there, which is okay. It's going to be mostly covered up anyways. Okay, so 6.5 inches. I'll put this measuring tape a little farther down, help me keep the right measurement the whole way down. Okay, so there is 6.5 by 11.5 inch piece of fabric to make a baby bonnet. I did get a little bit of that other seam in there, but that's okay. I'm just going to fold this over. It'll be in the back. Nobody will even notice it. So, okay. So here's our 6.5 by 11.5 inch rectangle. That will be the baby's bonnet. Now what we'll do is flip over this back piece about 1 inch. And I'm going to pin it. Where did my pins go? There they are. About 1 inch. Pin it all, like probably like 3 spots you can pin it just to keep it nice and even. You can smell the hot glue gun heated up. It's ready to go. Okay, so I folded over about 1 inch of material there. And now we will start hot gluing. So take this, and I'm going to start just at the corner here to get me started. Just be really careful. It can be super hot in your fingers. So I put a little dab right at the corner there. I'm going to fold that over and hold it. Not too hard though. I don't want to burn my finger because the hot glue will come through that sweater material. Okay, so I got one of them started. I'm going to go ahead and take out my other pin here. Put those away. And then this is where I will do kind of a long bead of hot glue. Okay. Fold that back over, press it down real gently. You want to make sure to leave a pocket at the top enough to get a piece of yarn through there to gather it up. I'm going to do one more bead before I take out that other pin. So we'll kind of do another long line of hot glue, fold that over, press it down real gently. Okay, and then we'll take out this last pin, put in another long line of hot glue, and again press it over and flat. And we have a finished edge on the back there. Raw edge on the front, finished on the back. Okay, and trim that little piece off. And I forgot to grab some yarn, so let me go grab that really quick. Okay, you can use ribbon or yarn. I just have a ton of yarn and it's real easy and cheap. So get about a, I don't know, foot or two piece of yarn and your safety pin. And just put that through the safety pin like that. This is going to be what threads it through that little pocket that you just made. And just put it in one of the ends, doesn't matter which one. Thread that through. This takes a little while. And there's the end of my safety pin there. Pull it through, careful not to pull it all the way through. And then we have our yarn all the way through there. So still a little bit warm, but it's pretty dry, so I don't think it's gonna fall apart. All right, then we just tie that yarn in a knot, kind of gather it up, squish it together there. That's gonna make the back, that little keyhole in the back of the baby's head. And about there, that's where I'll tie it. It's just a little bit of a keyhole in the back there. I don't know if you can tell. And again, you can make this adjustable. I don't typically ever adjust them once they're tied, so I will just finish it off and make a triple, quadruple knot. Make sure it's nice and secure. You can tie a bow if you want. I'm just going to cut it because you won't see the back of it. So. And there is the back of my bonnet. Little keyhole, little yarn that I tied off there. Okay, so all we have left to do on this bonnet is put some ends or ties on it. I'm gonna pick off this. Being a used sweater, it is gonna have some little gnarls and stuff in the fabric, but it's in pretty good shape and I think it's gonna look adorable. So what I'm gonna use, you can use yarn to use for the ties of the bonnet, but I thought I'd show you another trick that I like to do, and that is to use a shirt. This is a little bit more of a silky material, but you can use any just button down cotton shirt that has just it's not a stretchy material. I don't know, just like a men's business shirt that's cotton. It's not stretchy, and again, this is a little more silky, but I'm going to use this. I've already used it before, so I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to go here. Okay, so this is the back of the shirt. I'm going to use this to make the ties because it's a long, nice, flat piece of material with no seams or anything in it. So I'm going to cut, just make a tiny little cut at the very bottom of the seam. Doesn't have to be, it's like a ½ inch there. And then I'm going to tear it. Okay. Actually needed to scoot over a little bit more than I was because that went right up the arm seam there, and that I don't know if that's going to be quite long enough for the tie. So I am going to make another little slit where I can use the whole length of this back. Okay, so So again, there's my little slip, and we'll tear it. Okay. Then, depending on how wide I want my tie, usually, I don't know, about an inch, inch and a half, I'll just make another little slit about inch, inch and a half over from where I made that one. Like that. And then I'm going to tear this. Okay. It does get some fray, but you can kind of peel apart. Whoop. Peel this apart. Peel this off. And I have one tie to tie around baby's neck. Okay, we'll make one more exactly like that. Where is my shirt? Here we go. Oh, it got turned inside out somehow. Okay, so there was my last cut. I'm gonna do another one about that same exact width. Tiny little slit there, and we'll tear it. This is really fun to do. I don't know why I like to tear and cut up clothes so much. Okay, and there's my second tie. Now you can snip off that, there is a seam there on the bottom of that shirt. You can snip that off, but I don't see any reason to, so I'm just gonna leave it. So there's my two ties. And I'm gonna just gather up this corner, the top piece, and put a dab of hot glue on the inside corner of the bonnet that will go around. Sorry, my sister-in-law called. I don't know how to turn that off. I put it on Do Not Disturb, but since she's on my favorites list, it's gonna come through. So I gathered that up. Gonna put a dab of hot glue right on this corner piece. It was a little too much, but it's okay. And then, without burning your fingers, lay this right on top of that bead of hot glue. Again, you can sew this if you want, but I'm just kind of showing you how it can be done without a needle. Sorry, she called again. Lisa, if you're watching this, don't call me anymore. Okay, that one is done and secure. And then we'll move on to this other corner right here. And one more dab of hot glue right there on that corner. Gather this little guy up. Stick it right over top. Oh. Ooh, that burned me. Okay, I think I'm gonna have to do a little more hot glue on this one to keep it together. Yeah. Okay. But try with my finger on it. Okay, so there is our bonnet. Little white baby bonnet with pretty little silky ties and a nice raw unfinished edge. I will probably add a little bow or something to this. I don't know. It might be cute to keep it just completely plain here on the side. If you want to add a floral embellishment or something, depending on which side you like to shoot baby from, you can. Since I am unsure at this moment, I'm just going to leave it plain because I hate to add something to it and then wish that I hadn't. So here's my little baby bonnet and the matching wrap that goes with it. If you want to hang on a little bit longer, I'm going to unplug my hot glue gun and kind of show you. I have my little, my daughter's little baby. This is way tinier than a real newborn. This is probably half the size. But I'm going to show you how I would use this wrap on her. Oops, sorry, baby. It's not how I treat a real newborn. So typically I am on the floor. I put baby in my lap and wrap her up that way. But we'll just do her on the counter here. So put her about right there. And I would probably put an ivory wrap underneath this, but I don't have one here. They're all at my studio. This is the only wrap I had. Brought it home and washed it. So just kind of wrap her up like that. Again, this is a tiny little doll. So there is my mid seam right there. That's gonna actually go nice below baby. So much different than doing a real baby. But that lace detail just adds a nice little embellishment. And then here's the little bonnet you can put right over it, and it'll all match. Oh my gosh. Yeah. And then tie that off in a nice little bow, and you have an adorable little bonnet and wrap that you don't even have to sew. All right, hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you next time. Oh, I'm not gonna be able to reach that. I'm gonna have to go around. All right, thanks again. See you later.